Okay, so in regards to the hurricane shutter thing, if you have recessed windows in a concrete block house, so here's your window and it sticks inward from your wall. So here's like the exterior of your house and your window kind of sits inward a little bit, and there's usually like a concrete lip here that goes around the edge of the window. What you're going to do is get 3/4 inch plywood and cut it to the size of the window. So take your measurements accordingly and whatnot. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut it to the size of your window. Now, it's going to depend on the size of your window. If you have like really big windows, you're going to have to you're going to have to get the measurements of the window, and then you're going to have to split it into two sections, or you can just use one giant piece of plywood, but it's a lot more structured and solid if you have a big window and you use two pieces and you connect the two with like 2x4s or with another piece of smaller plywood and screw them into place, so it's a lot more structured. So what you're going to do is you're going to buy barrel bolts. So if you've ever gone into a bathroom at a bar or any place like that, they got the kind that you grab like this and you slide it in, you push down and lock it. It's like they're bolted on. It's got like a little latch thing like this that you can slide. They sell them at Lowe's and Home Depot, and they're called barrel bolts, so B-A-R-R-E-L. You're going to need multiple barrel bolts, but what you're going to do is cut the thing to size and determine 4 solid points. It could be more than that depending on the size of your window. So if you have a really large window, you might want to do 2 up top, 2 on the sides, 2 on the sides, 2 on the bottom. What we're going to do is find equal points, so however wide the wood's going to be. So you're going to want one in the middle of this side, one in the middle of that side. So take your measurements. So if it's 48 inches, 24, find the middle of 24, find the middle of 24, and then make your spots for your barrel bolts. Now you want them to be on the edge of the wood, so that way that the bolt thing slides out, it'll go past the plywood like this. What you're going to do is you're going to lay it up against your window, and then you're going to slide the barrel bolt upward until it's hitting the concrete. And then what you're going to do is mark that area in the concrete with a permanent marker or whatever you want to do. You're going to need a hammer drill for this. It's the style of drill that kind of acts as a jackhammer and as a drill at the same time. Not necessarily like a jackhammer. It's going to be like hitting like this, but it essentially, as you're screwing, it does this, and it digs into the stucco or the concrete. You're going to need a hammer drill bit or a bit for concrete. Tapcons, if you have Tapcons and you buy them, they usually come with a hammer drill bit. But you want one that's going to be big enough for the barrel bolt to slide into. So it's going to have to be slightly bigger than the barrel bolt itself, or right around the same size. So you're going to make your holes. So if it's going straight up like this, and the barrel bolt is when your thing is in the window, you obviously want your drill to go straight up. So that way when you slide, what you're going to do is you're going to slide the barrel bolts into the marks with the holes that you've made in the concrete. Slide them in, lock it in place, and then you can actually use a high strength wire, like almost like the same consistency as solder wire or something like that, but a lot stronger, and wrap it through the holes and then twist it like this to lock it in place. That way what it's going to do is, instead of going directly over your window where wind can get underneath it, it's going to be in the recessed part of your window, so it's a lot harder for wind to get back there to pull it off. It's a little bit more expensive up front, and it's a little bit more time consuming up front, but if you ever have another hurricane, you literally just put the board in place, lock the bolts in place, and you're done. So I will show more in depth with what I'm talking about in another video. If anybody wants to know more about this, comment on this post or send me a private message, and I'll send you all the details that I can. Alright, be safe.